Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto received more than will of fire from Hashirama. What if it was something tangible with the blood of Shodai running through his veins? What changes will come to the Naruto verse? Before we start, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to this channel for more what ifs, and check the description for creator of this great fanfic. So let us start. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto Chapter 10. Quarterfinals. Genma, the proctor of the third exam, called the match to start, but Naruto and Neji never moved. Neither genin even entered a fighting stance as the crowd looked on confused at the proceedings. Senju-san. It seems you picked correct in that we would face each other, said Neji with a stoic demeanor. Naruto looked at Neji as he cracked his knuckles. I'm about to whoop your ass, something serious, and while I'm doing it, remember that it's for Hinata-chan, said Naruto as he finally shifted into a stance. Neji twitched slightly at Naruto's words. He knew that Naruto was incredibly strong, but in his mind, he still believed he could defeat him. With his Juken, gentle fist, he could seal up Naruto's Tenketsu's chakra points, and coast to an easy win. Neji settled into the opening stance of the famed Juken as he activated his Byakugan, all-seeing white eye. Naruto placed his hands in the ram seal as he channeled some chakra. Iwa Bunshin no Jutsu, rock clone technique, thought Naruto as around him, 8 Narutos appeared growing from the earth. Neji smirked. You do realize that I can tell which one is you. Those clones are meaningless when your chakra isn't distributed evenly, said Neji as he saw Naruto laugh. Just because you know which one is me, doesn't mean it'll make getting past them any easier, said Naruto as his 8 clones charged at Neji. 4 of his clones arrived first as they attacked Neji all at once. 2 struck from behind as 2 attacked from the front. Seeing the clones behind him, Neji performed a front flip over the 2 clones in front, evading all of the attacks. 2 clones were on Neji as he landed. They appeared flanking him on both sides, but he easily spun and slapped away their attempts to punch him. Once he finished spinning, another Naruto appeared and lashed out with an uppercut. Neji flew back into the air as he appeared to be struck by Naruto. However, it was actually evaded by Neji at the last second with only inches to spare. Neji, having enough of dodging, decided to rid himself of the clones. So when another 4 Narutos surrounded him, he gracefully leapt into the air and performed a spinning heel kick. The kick connected with all the Narutos as they crumbled into rocks from the powerful kicks. As soon as those 4 clones were destroyed, 2 more Narutos came rushing at Neji. Neji skillfully slapped away their attacks and destroyed them with a double palm strike. The final 2 clones appeared as Neji turned and finished them with a powerful open palm to their stomachs. Too easy, said Neji until he noticed something on one of the Narutos when it crumbled to rocks. Neji held up a guard as he was rocked by an explosion. Neji was sent skidding backward as he had a few singe marks on him from the explosion. He placed an explosive note in that clone. This is going to be difficult, thought Neji as he looked at Naruto. So the stories are true. The Byakugan does allow the user to see in a perfect 360. And he's fast enough to dodge all of the attacks. Seems I'll have to think of something. There has to be a weakness, I just need to find it, thought Naruto as he was cut from his musings when Neji spoke to him. It'll take a lot more than that to defeat me. Like I said before, my eyes see everything, said Neji. Naruto folded his arms and stared at Neji with a bored expression. And exactly what do you see with those eyes of yours? They allow me to see the truth of this world. Like how your skill is determined at birth. In other words, everything is predetermined when you're born. Bullshit, said Naruto at Neji's claim. I don't believe in any of that fate stuff. We create our own destiny in life. Finished Naruto as he saw Neji smirk slightly. Amusing coming from a person like you. You're the perfect example of what I'm speaking of. You hail from the legendary Senju clan of the forest. You're related to 3 of Konoha's greatest ninjas ever produced. So it comes as no surprise that you're incredibly strong. You were strong before you were even born, said Neji. Naruto got slightly angry at Neji's words. Why do you think of people like that? I only speak the truth. You and I were fated to be stronger than the rest. That's why those imbeciles you faced, Lee and Hinata-sama, failed. They were predestined to fail no matter what. Everyone may be different, but we all have to walk the path that has been laid in front of us. The only fate common between everyone is death. Are you done? Asked Naruto, tired of talking to Neji. Neji's eyebrow arched upward slightly in confusion. What? As I said before, that fate stuff you're spilling out is complete bullshit. We make our own paths in life. I'm strong because I worked my ass off to get here and I had great teachers. But I will agree with you this time, you will have to walk the path laid before you. That path created by me consisting of an ass whooping as I'm just getting started. Said Naruto. Naruto created 15 clones this time and like before had them rush at Neji. Hey, clones again. You should know this won't work against me. I won't fall for that cheap trick again. Said Neji as he began to defend the clone's onslaught. Neji was even dodging Naruto's kunai and shuriken as he had taken to throwing them to keep Neji from destroying his clones. Neji had been dodging the clone's attacks and Naruto's projectiles efficiently until he was struck from behind with a kunai to his upper back. Wonder why he didn't dodge, thought Naruto as his kunai struck Neji in his right shoulder from behind. Neji pulled the kunai out of his back as he began to counterattack against the clones. Hake Rokujuyan Sho 8 trigrams 64 palms, said Neji as he sped through attacks to get rid of the clones. With the blistering speed of his attacks, eventually Neji finished the clones. Neji then looked at the real Naruto standing a few feet away with a thoughtful expression. He hit me. Right in my blind spot. Though it could be seen as me not dodging in time, so I have nothing to worry about as long as he doesn't figure it out, thought Neji as he was beginning to get nervous. What if Naruto figured out his weakness? Finalist box. I thought the Byakugan allowed the user to see everything in a 360. How did Naruto hit him with that kunai? Asked Sasuke with his Sharingan activated. Sasuke knew Neji was fast enough to dodge it, so what was going on? Is there a blind spot to the Byakugan? Standing beside Sasuke, Shino and Shikamaru were thinking the same thing. In the audience, he hit Neji, thought Tenten shocked. But how? Neji can see everything in a 360. Don't tell me he found out the weakness to the Byakugan, thought Hiashi frantically as he saw Neji get hit in the back. Hiashi then looked shocked to see Neji's attack. To think a branch member figured out how to do that move. Impressive. Kakashi-sensei, said Sakura as Kakashi moved his head slightly to show he was listening. Why doesn't Naruto use any of his jutsu? He's much stronger than this. Well, in a tournament like this, it's more of a marathon, not a sprint. Naruto's just thinking ahead, said Kakashi as he continued to quell Sakura's confusion. He's pacing himself. In a marathon, you don't jump out the gates full speed. You pace yourself and save your energy. Naruto would still have another match, maybe two if he continues to win. He doesn't want to go all out in this fight, if possible, as it could lead to a loss later. Sakura nodded as she understood completely. I think Naruto's using his clones differently than that, said Asuma as everyone looked quizzical besides Kakashi and Guy. Kurenai figured out what he meant and explained. He's testing Neji while observing him from a distance. He's trying to find a weakness and that kunai that finally landed may have given him a clue. Everyone looked back at the fight as Neji had finished the clones. Kid's pretty good. He'll have my vote, thought Asuma thinking about Naruto. Back to the fight. Neji, not wanting Naruto to create more clones, rushed at Naruto with impressive speed. Neji attacked Naruto with a fast open palm to the stomach. Naruto looked shocked to see Neji move so quickly and couldn't evade fast enough. He was struck hard in the gut by Neji as he felt the air leave him. Neji was surprised to see his attack hit so easily. But wasn't disappointed when Naruto converted to mud shortly afterward, signaling a replacement. Neji began to scan the area as he saw Naruto appear standing on the stadium wall. Neji then looked shocked as the mud from Naruto's replacement morphed into a huge dragon head. He won't have enough time to dodge. This will hit him hard, thought Naruto. Naruto had performed a shunshin to appear on the stadium wall as he held the dragon seal. Doten, Doryuden Earth style, Earth Dragon Bullet, said Naruto as the dragon head fired massive mud balls at Neji. Not enough time to get out of the way. Looks like I'll have to use the technique, thought Neji as he began to spin around at high speeds. Cadent rotation came the shout of Neji. Neji released a huge amount of chakra while spinning. Neji's spinning dome deflected the mud balls with ease as everyone looked shocked. In the audience, father, that was, started Hiashi's youngest daughter Hanabi before she was cut off. Yes, that was one of the main branch's moves, said Hiashi as he thought, to think he'd figured both of those moves out by just watching them. Must make him a genius like none other. The boy is truly blessed with more ability than any other in the clan. Whoa, he just shrugged off Naruto's jutsu like it was nothing, said Sakura as she heard Tenten scoff. Of course he did. That move is Neji's perfect defense. Nothing gets past it. It'll be the reason Neji wins this fight, why he wins every fight, said Tenten, confident in her teammate's ability. Perfect defense. How's Naruto going to get past that? Said Sakura as the other rookie genin thought the same. Naruto versus Neji. Neji stopped spinning once he noticed Naruto's jutsu end. He looked toward Naruto with a smirk. That was the most powerful defense. It is an absolute defense created by the Hyuga clan, even better than Gaara's sand, it cannot be beaten. You should just give up now, said Neji. Naruto narrowed his eyes until he finally looked like he figured something out. You have a blind spot, said Naruto as all the Hyugas in the stadium looked shocked. Did he figure it out? Thought Neji in a panic. Naruto smirked slightly as he said, from your expression, it must mean I'm correct in my judgment. That means, this will hurt. Neji was panicking, scanning his surroundings for an attack. After a few moments, Neji saw Naruto appear behind him with his hands clasped together. Suiten no jutsu, water style. Water bullet technique, thought Naruto as he fired off a huge water ball at Neji. Useless, said Neji as he performed another kaiden. Upon stopping, Neji noticed Naruto was nowhere to be found. Neji immediately began to focus on his blind spot, trying to find Naruto. So engrossed with his blind spot, Neji didn't notice the ground beneath him crack slightly. Naruto came flying out of the ground with an uppercut. Neji felt the full impact of Naruto's punch to his chin as it lifted him off the ground. Neji's feet slightly got off the ground before his upward progress was halted by a sharp kick to his stomach. Neji was sent back as he landed on his back and slid a few more feet. As Neji was on his back, he looked up to see another water ball crashing down on top of him. I got tricked. I can barely move. I've only been hit 3 times. Are his attacks that strong? Thought Neji as he laid on the ground in pain and soaked from Naruto's jutsu. Naruto dusted himself off as he walked over to Neji. Neji was struggling to move as he said, you were tricking me into believing that you had found a blind spot. Knowing that would make me scan my surroundings instead of focusing on the ground. Bingo, said Naruto before he whispered, I also know that you have that blind spot in the upper right portion of your back. The kunai that landed earlier only confirms it. Finished Naruto as he prepared to finish off Neji. I was planning to thoroughly beat you to within an inch of your life, but Hinata-chan asked me not to. So I have to ask, what's going on with your family? It's clearly got you to think about this fate stuff so hard. And I'm guessing it has to do with past events involving you and Hinata. Asked Naruto as he looked at Neji's downed position. You're correct in your judgment, Senju-san, started Neji weakly as he was still in pain from Naruto's attacks. In our family, we are separated into 2 groups. The main family and the branch family. Those in the branch family are meant to serve the main family with their lives. We are even branded to forever bear the mark of a servant. We are given a seal to ensure our servitude to the main family. You wouldn't know what it's like to have a seal define you. Naruto was shocked to see Neji stand up immediately. You made a mistake. You're in my field of divination, said Neji as he took off towards Naruto. 2 palms, said Neji as he lashed out with 2 strikes. Shit. Thought Naruto as he evaded both strikes. 4 palms. Neji lashed out with 4 strikes even faster than the last 2. Naruto still dodged all the strikes as Neji continued. 8 palms. Naruto finally was struck in the shoulder by one of Neji's hits. 16 palms. Neji hit Naruto 4 times as his pace continued to pick up. 32 palms. 0.64 palms. Naruto was struck 14 more times. Naruto even got the finishing double palm to the stomach as he was sent to the ground. Seems that I have prevailed. Not even the legendary Senju clan can defeat the Hyuga. Proctor, call the match, he won't be getting up, said Neji until he saw Naruto picking himself up. Naruto was covered in an orange aura of chakra as he stood up. Well, that hurt, said Naruto as he looked completely unfazed by Neji's strikes. Where is this chakra coming from? Thought Neji as he could have sworn he saw it swirl into a fox. Finalist box, that's Biju chakra. Is he a Jinchuriki? Thought Tamari. Kankuro and Gaara were thinking the same. They knew the feeling of chakra from a Jinchuriki as Gaara was one as well. Shino and Shikamaru were trying to find out why Naruto's chakra was like that. Shino had sent a few bugs to figure out, but they died upon sucking up the chakra. What was going on with Naruto? Sasuke was the most shocked. Naruto, what the hell are you? Thought Sasuke as he looked at Naruto's chakra with his Sharingan. How powerful are you? In the audience, he's really in control of that power, asked a random Chunin. Let's hope so. But I mean, it looks like the rumor was true. He seems in control, said another ninja as he watched Naruto. Naruto. What is that? You never showed that before. Thought Sakura about her teammate. Naruto-kun, thought Hinata as she coughed slightly. She was still injured from her fight with Neji. Holy hell. I can feel the alpha flying off of Naruto. What the hell is he? Thought Kiba as he felt Naruto's dominating presence. It just commanded obedience. How strong was he really? Naruto versus Neji, you shouldn't have let your guard down, Naruto. You'd have been finished had I not been here, said Kurama as he funneled chakra into Naruto's system to open his chakra points back up. Thanks, Kurama. I owe you one. Though I might have been able to force it open with my chakra alone. Then again, it could have been made me lose a lot of chakra to try it with my own. Regardless, I was careless and now I've shown off your chakra, now I have to answer everyone's questions. Troublesome. Said Naruto back to Kurama in his head. What is that chakra? Came the slightly scared voice of the normally stoic Neji. Looks like I got careless, said Naruto as he still had that orange aura surrounding him. You shut down my chakra for a second. Had it not been for me being a Jinchuriki, this fight would have been over. The stadium was silent at Naruto's announcement. Most of the stadium already knew about Naruto's status as their Jinchuriki. Naruto's friends were confused, they had never heard of the word Jinchuriki before. Jinchuriki? Asked Neji. Jinchuriki, the power of human sacrifice. It's a term that describes one who contains a biju. To name a biju, let's go with the Kyuubi. Said Naruto as Neji was slowly getting the picture. But it was said the Yondaime killed the Kyuubi. How could you be its Jinchuriki? It should be dead. But I'm not and your Yondaime is. Kurama 1, Yondaime 0. Suck it, said Kurama in Naruto's head. Naruto had to suppress a laugh at Kurama's words as he explained how. It's impossible to kill a biju. They are coalesced energy given a form. If the Yondaime managed to kill the Kyuubi, it would just disperse and eventually pop up again. Knowing that the Yondaime decided it best to seal the beast away, seal it into a boy. A boy who happened to be born on that day. That boy is me, said Naruto as he looked slightly dejected. So don't tell me that I don't know what it's like to have a seal placed on me that defines who I am. I've been judged since birth over something I have no control over, said Naruto as he rocketed toward Neji. Too fast, thought Neji as he resorted to another Kaden. Naruto stopped before reaching the spinning dome as he smirked slightly. Naruto placed his hands in the boar, then tiger hand seal. Doden. Yomi Numa, Earth style. Swamp of the underworld, said Naruto. Neji's spinning halted as a thick swamp appeared underneath him. Neji began to sink slightly as the mud swallowed him up to his ankles. What? Said Neji until he was cut off by the sudden appearance of Naruto atop the mud beside him. Neji caught Naruto's punch and attempted to strike with a finger jab until Naruto caught his wrist. Due to Neji's hands being tied up and his legs still sinking in the mud. He had no protection against Naruto's knee to his stomach. As Neji was bent over from the impact of Naruto's knee, he received a vicious kick to the side of the head. Naruto had done a spin kick to launch Neji out of the swamp. His attacks have gotten stronger, thought Neji as he was laying on the ground in pain from Naruto's Kyuubi-enhanced blows. Naruto let his orange aura fade as he said, this fight is over. I can withstand your Juken strikes since I can just reopen my chakra points. And I can keep you from activating your absolute defense. Just give up before you get hurt more. Neji struggled to get up as he refused to give up. This fight isn't over, said Neji as he stumbled toward Naruto. Naruto shook his hand as he easily dodged Neji's attack. You should know when to give up. You're fighting despite being totally outclassed and already injured. If this was a real fight, it would cost you dearly. These exams are about proving your Chunin material, said Naruto as he decked Neji with an elbow to the face. Neji was on the ground, laying on his back in pain, as Naruto continued. By continuing to fight, it just shows you aren't ready for prime time. When Naruto finished speaking, he smashed a fist into Neji's gut. The ground around Neji cracked slightly as a small amount of blood flew from his mouth. Neji couldn't move a muscle as the pain was too much for him. Genma, having seen enough, decided to call the fight. Shusa, Naruto Senju. Naruto looked up to the crowd as he waved to their cheers. I should have known you were fated to win. You're a Senju after all, said Neji weakly. Naruto looked toward Neji with red, slitted eyes. I'm sick of this fate stuff. I'm not great because I'm only blessed with natural talent. I've worked hard to get where I've gotten. And honestly, I'd rather be in the same class as Lee, cause he's not a coward. He doesn't give in to his fate. Just because he can only use taijutsu, doesn't mean he gave in to his fate of never being a great ninja. You, however, are a great ninja. Blessed with incredible talent, yet you don't let yourself fly due to your weak-ass views of the world. Finished Naruto as his eyes turned back to violet. Naruto went running out of the stadium, blowing kisses to the crowd. The medics arrived to take Neji away as Genma spoke to him for the first time. When captured birds grow wiser, they try to open their cage with their beaks. They don't give up because they want to fly again, said Genma as Neji was taken away. Cage boxed the cage sat next to the Hokage as they watched the fight. Seems like you have two promising genin there Hiruzen Dono. Especially that Senju boy, quite powerful even without using his Biju's chakra. Said the cage as Hiruzen smiled. Indeed Naruto-kun is. I believe he definitely showed skills worthy of a Chunin. And even though Neji is a strong ninja, I can't see him getting the nod for Chunin. Said Hiruzen as he watched Naruto exit into the tunnel. True. Very true. Well, let's watch the next match, shall we? Said the cage as Hiruzen nodded. Arena floor 5 minutes later, the crowd eventually calmed down and they were ready for the next match. Now on to match 2 of these finals. Will Kankuro and Gaara come down? Started Genma until he was cut off. I forfeit Proctor, said Kankuro as he received boos for his announcement. Okay. Winner by forfeit, Gaara, said Genma as he just went to the next match on the list. Match 3 of the finals. Will Shino Aburame and Sasuke Uchiha make their way down? Sasuke and Shino made their way down to the arena floor. On the way down Sasuke saw Naruto walking up. Jinchuriki, said Sasuke as Naruto looked towards him. Something like that, said Naruto as he and Sasuke looked at each other. Shino nodded to Naruto but continued walking to let the two friends speak. Sasuke stared at Naruto for a few seconds until he smirked. I'm still gonna beat you. Having that power won't help you from my onslaught. Naruto smiled slightly as he said, we'll see. I still dance better than you. Said Sasuke as he fist bumped Naruto smiling as well. Nice of you to hide your hand seals by having your back to me. I was certainly trying to copy a few to add to my arsenal. Naruto laughed slightly as he did keep his back to Sasuke during his fight to prevent that. See you in the finals, said Naruto as he headed up to the finalist box. Of course, you just better be ready for prime time, said Sasuke as he went down into the arena floor to fight. Finalist box. Naruto showed up in the finalists box a little later as he looked around to see the other finalists stare at his arrival. Naruto looked apprehensive until Shikamaru smiled slightly. Troublesome, of course you have something like that. Don't worry, you're still Naruto. Being a Jinchuriki won't change that fact, said Shikamaru as he held out a fist to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he bumped fist with Shikamaru. He even saw Sakura and the rest of his friends looking at him with a smile. Seemed he was worrying over nothing. Arena floor, Sasuke and Shino were facing each other as Genma looked at both of them. Are both fighters ready? After a nod from both, Genma said, the third match of the Chunin exam finals. Hajime. As soon as Genma finished speaking, Sasuke had to sprint back to evade the bugs flying out of Shino's sleeves. Those bugs of his are going to be troublesome. Who's to say there isn't one already on me? And then again I could be looking at a clone in the first place, thought Sasuke as he dodged again. Dodging once more, Sasuke had enough of the bugs and flew through several hand seals. Kaiten. Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style. Grand fireball technique, said Sasuke as he fired a huge fireball that tore off into Shino's bugs. However, Sasuke was in for a surprise as he saw Shino's bugs take the fireball and not burn to death. Shino then spoke as he explained. Sasuke-san, do you believe I wouldn't prepare for your jutsu? These bugs are fire resistant and as such, your fire jutsu is useless against them, said Shino as he sent another wave of bugs toward Sasuke. Sasuke had listened to Shino's explanation and wasn't surprised. Of course he'd have bugs like that. Now I need to find the real Shino. The one before me is a clone as genjutsu didn't work on him, thought Sasuke as he dodged the bugs again. Sasuke, having enough of Shino hiding, decided to get rid of hiding spots. Rat, tiger, dog, ox, rabbit, tiger, thought Sasuke as he went through those hand seals. Kaiten, Hosenka Mekyaku, fire style, Phoenix Sage fire annihilation, said Sasuke. Sasuke unleashed a dozen huge volleys of fire, almost comparable to 12 grand fireballs, into the trees. Upon contacting something, the fireballs exploded, creating a raging fire that blazed through the forest. In the audience, hot damn, said Kiba as he saw Sasuke's jutsu. That pretty much summed up everyone's collective thoughts. Kakashi only smiled at his student. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as Naruto looked on with a smile at his friend. Arena floor, Shino came flying out of the forest to dodge Sasuke's impressive jutsu. I didn't think he had a jutsu of that scale, thought Shino as he landed out in the open, away from the blazing forest fire. Sasuke never gave Shino a chance to do anything as he was already upon him. Sasuke threw a punch at Shino that connected with the bug user's face and sent him skidding back. Shino, after getting punched a few feet away, looked up to see Sasuke in a stance identical to Rock Lee's. Seems he's using the Goken, strong fist. I'm not that good at taijutsu and as such he would defeat me decisively in hand-to-hand combat. I need to keep him away, thought Shino as the flames began to die down slightly. Not wanting Sasuke to attack him again, Shino let loose another barrage of bugs at Sasuke. The bugs flew at Sasuke in a spiraling motion. Bosui no Jin, spindle formation, said Shino. The jutsu was too fast and widespread as Sasuke was struck in the gut by Shino's bugs. Shino watched Sasuke as his bugs were slowly gathering around him. It's over, thought Shino until he noticed something was wrong. Genjutsu Kai. Shino broke the genjutsu placed on him by Sasuke as the Sasuke in front of him disappeared from view. Attempting to find Sasuke with his bugs, Shino was too late in pinpointing the Uchiha as he felt Sasuke kick him high into the air. While airborne, Sasuke appeared behind Shino using the Kage Buyu, shadow of the dancing leaf. It's over, said Sasuke as he planted several kicks into Shino's body that sent him crashing toward the ground. Just before Shino hit the ground, Sasuke planted another kick into his midsection. Shishi Renden, Lion's Barrage, said Sasuke. Shino laid prone on the ground as his bugs seeped back into his body to run damage control. You almost had me there, Shino. Too bad, you may have won that fight, said Sasuke. Shusa, Sasuke Uchiha, said Genma as the crowd lit up in cheers. Genma looked toward Sasuke as he said, "You're lucky he looked at your eyes when you were being covered by his bugs. He would have never been placed in that genjutsu and you would have had your chakra drained. Those bugs were even draining you as you did that final move. You got lucky, kid." Sasuke deactivated his Sharingan as he turned away from Genma. A win's a win in my books, said Sasuke as Genma smirked. The kid was right. Cage Box Konoha seems to produce great ninjas. Both of those kids were splendid. The bug boy had a great plan and was well prepared for his opponent. He'll likely be promoted. And that Uchiha boy, what a splendid display of all three facets of a shinobi. Said the Kazekage. Hiruzen looked on proudly at his two ninjas. Perhaps you're right, Kazekage Dono. Seems it's true that the younger generation always surpasses the previous generation. Arena floor 5 minutes later. After the crowd settled down and the fire was fully put out, Genma announced the next match. Match 4 of the finals. Will Shikamaru Nara and Tamari make their way down, said Genma as Tamari made her way to the arena floor. Shikamaru tried to stay but Naruto pushed him over the railing so he'd get down there. After a few moments, Sasuke came into the finalist box as he smirked at Naruto. Seems you did improve over the month break. Finally got that jutsu down, I see, said Naruto upon seeing Sasuke. There's more where that came from. Just you wait. I'm more than prepared to face you. Even with your orange chakra. said Sasuke confidently as they watched the next match unfold. The match was pretty boring. Temari just kept swinging her fan at Shikamaru, who kept hiding, only firing his shadow at Temari at random intervals. The fight didn't get interesting until the very end as Shikamaru pulled out an elaborate plan to capture Temari. "Arena floor, are you ever going to stop hiding?" said Temari as she swung her fan once more. Shikamaru braced himself for the winds as he decided it was time. Shikamaru placed his hands in the rat hand seal as a shadow extended from the darkened area of the stadium, untouched by the sun. Temari jumped back to get out of the way of the shadow as it approached, growing farther due to the sun moving down slightly. Eventually, it stopped and she stopped backflipping. "Is that how far you can go now?" said Temari until she noticed another shadow appear at the end of Shikamaru's extended shadow. Temari looked up to see a parachuted shirt attached to a kunai. That shirt gave Shikamaru more shadow to use for his jutsu. "Shit," thought Temari as she backpedaled a little more. Luckily the shadow stopped moving again as she smirked once again. "Looks like that's as far as you can go, little boy." "My turn," said Temari until a flash bomb dropped behind her. Boom, the flash bomb went off and Temari found out she couldn't move. "Kajimane no Jutsu, shadow possession technique, success," said Shikamaru as Temari looked shocked. Seeing Temari's face, Shikamaru decided to explain. "Before I even extended my shadow the first time, I tossed up both my shirt and that flash bomb in the air. From that point, my calculations proved correct as you went exactly where I wanted you to go. All those other moves before were just to set you up for checkmate. The flash bomb made a huge shadow of you and from there it was simple getting my jutsu to grab you. And now," said Shikamaru as he raised his hand, making Temari raise hers. "He planned all of this out. What the hell is he?" thought Temari, frantic as she closed her eyes in anticipation. "I forfeit," said Shikamaru. "What?" came the voice of Temari and even Ino in the stands. "I'm done. All those times I used my jutsu made me run out of chakra. I can probably only hold you for another 10 seconds. And if I did win, I'd have to face someone as troublesome as Sasuke Uchiha, who knows exactly how to beat me as he did it in the academy. There'd be no point in me continuing in this tournament. I'm done," finished Shikamaru as his shadow did dissipate after 10 seconds. Genma chuckled slightly. "Nara clan members. Oh well. Shusa, Temari," said Genma as the crowd booed Shikamaru for his forfeit when he had won basically. In the audience, HN. "Lazy ass," said Sasuke as Naruto chuckled. "True that. But he did display enough to be a chunin. That's what we're here for anyway. Shika could care less about winning the tourney," said Naruto as he watched Shikamaru walk back up. "True, but he basically said he was scared of me. Seems I already have people fearing the name, Sasuke Uchiha," said Sasuke smugly. "Right, anywho, time for me to face Gaara. Don't let your jaw hang down too low when you see me defeat him," said Naruto as he vanished in a shunshin. "Cage box, seems you might have 4 new Chunins Hokage Dono. Impressive even though that boy quit," said the Cage. "How right you are. Those 4 have shown the aptitude to become Chunins of the Leaf. I'm proud of them. Seems it's time to see your son fight finally," said Hiruzen as the intermission between the first round was over. "This is the match I've wanted to see. Naruto Senju vs my Gaara. Sure to be an exciting affair," said the Cage. "Hopefully Gaara kills that boy before he can be defeated. Just because Naruto-kun can use his Biju's chakra doesn't mean he can stop a Jinchuriki who can go farther in his transformations," thought the Cage. Arena floor. 5 minutes later, Genma stood on the arena floor as sand began to appear a few feet away from him. Gaara had arrived in a shunshin. Then in just a flash of yellow, Naruto appeared, opposite Gaara, in a shunshin as well. "Kids fast," thought Genma as he prepared to start the semifinals. "Are both fighters ready? Match 5 of the Chunin exam finals." "Hajime," said Genma as the next round began. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.